Good evening, I'm Chris Matthews. Welcome to Hardball tonight. In the big story, Rove resigns. He was called the boy genius by his friends and evil genius by his enemies. Karl Rove, the political architect of the Bush White House, announced today he will be leaving at the end of the month. But what did Karl Rove really build? The Democrats now control Congress. The president's approval ratings are in the basement, and the administration's big plans for Social Security and immigration fell flat. For the last few years, Rove has worked under a cloud of suspicion for his role in the CIA leak case and the firing of those 8 U.S. attorneys. More on this top story in a moment. In the second story tonight, Republican presidential contender Mike Huckabee is the Cinderella man out of the weekend's GOP straw poll out in Iowa. Mitt Romney spent a bundle to win the poll, while Huckabee cruised into second place on a shoestring. We're going to talk to Mike Huckabee, who everybody seems to like, in just a moment. In tonight's debate on Hardball, should Congress be able to force Karl Rove to talk? Now that he's leaving the White House, that's the Hardball debate. He's going to go out and make a fortune on the lecture circuit. Do you have to pay to get the truth from Karl Rove? Anyway, David Schuster's got an interesting report right now on Karl Rove's resignation.
After once predicting a permanent Republican majority, now with the GOP in its worst shape in 20 years and the president facing the lowest approval rating of any president in 30, today Karl Rove called it quits.
Today, I submitted my resignation as Deputy Chief of Staff and Senior Advisor effective the end of the month. Mr. President, I'm grateful for the opportunity you gave me to serve our nation and you.
President Bush thanked Rove and offered this.
We've been friends for a long time, and we're still going to be friends. I would call Karl Rove a dear friend.
The president and Karl Rove have worked together since the beginning of George W. Bush's political career. And as a ruthless strategist, Rove has had plenty of political success. He helped get Mr. Bush elected governor of Texas and positioned him for a White House run. Then, in the 2000 presidential campaign, he helped Mr. Bush exploit the nation's fatigue with the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal.
To lift this nation's spirit, I will also swear to uphold the honor and the integrity of the office to which I have been elected. So help me God.
Rove orchestrated another successful Bush presidential campaign in 2004. He helped the president pass tax cuts, and he was part of the White House group that marketed and sold the Iraq War to the American people.
And I'm grateful to have been a witness to history. It has been the joy and the honor of a lifetime.
But while Rove has sacrificed years to George W. Bush, Rove, like the president, has also been at the center of several failures. There was the effort to privatize Social Security, multiple attempts to pass immigration reform, and the botched federal response to Hurricane Katrina. And right up until the 2006 congressional elections, Rove insisted that Republicans in Congress would hold on to their majority. They did not. Even more memorable, however, have been Rove's legal controversies. In the summer of 2003, after Joe Wilson undermined the administration's nuclear case for war with Iraq, White House officials hit back by outing the identity of Wilson's wife, a covert agent at the CIA. Rove insisted he was not involved, and he used Scott McClellan, the presidential spokesman at the time.
If anyone in this administration was involved in it, they would no longer be in this administration.
And when McClellan was asked specifically about Rove,
I've made it very clear that it was a ridiculous suggestion in the first place. I've said that it's not true, and I have spoken with Karl Rove.
But Rove had actually provided information about Valerie Wilson to 2 reporters, Robert Novak and Matt Cooper. And Rove's rolling disclosures in the course of 5 separate appearances to the CIA leaked grand jury prompted prosecutor Patrick Fitzgerald to consider criminal charges against Rove, according to Rove's own attorney. This spring, Karl Rove and his White House colleagues became enmeshed in a scandal over the seemingly political firings of these 8 federal prosecutors.
Senator, Mr. Sampson has testified this was a bad idea, and it was a bad idea.
Justice Department documents revealed heavy involvement by the White House political office led by Karl Rove. Rove insisted that all of the prosecutors were fired for performance or policy reasons, and he repeatedly pointed to U.S. Attorney Carol Lam and the issue of immigration prosecutions.
There was a principled decision by the woman who was the U.S. Attorney for San Diego, Southern District of California, that she would not commit resources to prosecute immigration offenses. She made a decision that that was not going to be a priority of office. The U.S. Justice Department asked her to make it so, she did not.
But Lamb, under oath, contradicted him. Documents revealed she had actually been praised by the Justice Department on immigration, not criticized, and Democrats accused Rove of lying to hide his own role in the firings of the U.S. attorneys. Rove has since then refused to answer questions publicly or under oath. So a few weeks ago, Congress issued a subpoena to Rove, an order the White House is fighting. The news that Karl Rove is leaving was greeted with regret by other White House officials. They said Rove will be missed. Democrats said good riddance and argued that Rove had put the interests of the Republican Party ahead of the interests of the American people. Left unclear is whether Rove will ever be forced to testify about the controversies or whether he will simply ride into the sunset as a Bush White House defender. I'm David Schuster for Hardball in Washington.
Thank you, David Schuster.